So Arc Raiders comes out, the gameplay loop is fun and exciting, the art direction is absolutely beautiful, the audio design is euphoric, and of course, it's affordable. And anytime a game comes out with these qualities, you will see people from the corporate gaming sphere run out and say, hey, this is an outlier. Don't expect this from the gaming industry moving forward. You have to keep buying our $70 slop. What's going on, everybody? It is the Daily Pleb here. Make sure you're liking and subbing for more content. And today we're going to be talking about Alex Hutchinson. He's worked on The Sims 2, Spore, Far Cry 4, and Assassin's Creed 3, so needless to say, he's done a lot in the industry. Well, he would quote tweet Rock Solid, who says, "Game studio makes banger games up until 2015. Never makes anything good ever again. Too many such cases. I wonder what else happened in 2015." And of course, he was talking about Obsidian. Now, Alex would quote tweet this and say, "It's not the studio, it's the market. Too many games in everyone's backlog. Too many people waiting for free games or monstrous discounts. Too many service games are eating up percentages of players' time. Going to put a lot of devs out of business. Times they are a-changin', and a-changin' they are indeed, because the normies are tired of playing mid games. They're tired of buying games for $70 and getting slop, or having to pay DLC in order to get the full game, or being, bombarded with microtransactions. They're tired of it. They're buying games on sale, or they're turning towards the indie market, who is right now leading the game industry forward." Now, there's a couple of replies down here that I'd like to read. Interesting theory, except when we have an indie game that has no marketing, and Obsidian can't get a tenth of the players. Yeah, you can complain about price, but if the game is fun, word of mouth will spread. That obviously hasn't happened for The Outer Worlds 2. Alex would reply with, 90% of indie games released on Steam make under 1,000. This is an outlier. Once again with this outlier thing. We had Hollow Knight Silk Song, absolute banger. People love it. People were talking about it. Made loads of cash. Duck Off, obviously right here. People are loving it. 248,000 players? It's a success. And it goes to show that people just want quality. People have finally recognized that games made by Obsidian or Activision or Blizzard, they now recognize that these companies aren't what they used to be, and they no longer mean quality, and people are moving on to the indie scene. And there's another post right here that I wanted to get into. "No, I am the target audience for their games. Crowdfunded PoE 1, loved the game. Tyranny was a day one buy. PoE 2 and The Outer Worlds 1, bought and played through, good, but already a bit of meh. Avowed and Outer Worlds 2, meh, maybe for a deep sell. It's the writing." And Alex would respond, "That's anecdotal. The facts I listed are global." Except I don't think it is. People who are interested in Obsidian games are people who played Tyranny, people who played Fallout New Vegas, and they expect a certain level of grit, they expect a certain level of role-playing, and they expect a certain level of class diversity. Outer Worlds, when it came out, I bought it and I played it, and I actually loved it. I enjoyed the over-the-top, corporatocracy, world that it was set in. I know it had a lot of problems, and would I consider it, among Fallout New Vegas or Tyranny? Absolutely not. Nowhere near close, but I thought it was going to be a step in the right direction. And then Avowed comes out, or should I say it was announced, and once again I was like, oh my god, Obsidian is back. this is going to be right up my alley. I heard it was going to be set in the Pillars of Eternity universe. I loved Pillars of Eternity. I was hyped. Needless to say, I was hyped. I get my hands on the game. And I would say within an hour, I recognized that, oh, yeah, the Outer Worlds wasn't a, first step back into making video games. It was just a sign that Obsidian no longer has the chops. Avowed failed in every possible way. The exploration was, kind of fun, but class diversity, what's that? Interactivity with the world, what's that? Role-playing, what's that? Every dialogue option felt like it led to the same outcome. These skill checks felt like it was there for no reason because it didn't do anything. It was just empty, soulless. The NPCs just stood there. They didn't have a life. They didn't go eat food. They didn't go to bed. They didn't go to work. These are things that Skyrim did, Morrowind did, Fallout New Vegas did. You would think Avowed would have been no different. And as far as Outer Worlds 2 is concerned, I didn't get it. I haven't played it, even though I enjoyed Outer Worlds 1. And it's because I can recognize that the studio just isn't what it is. And there's no point in trying out a game, being disappointed, and having to move on anyway. So there is something I want to look at here, which is numbers. So Arc Raiders has 200,000 people in the game right now, with a 354,000 24-hour peak. Let's compare that to the Outer Worlds 2. Only 8,000. Only 8,000 for a game backed by Microsoft's money, by a studio that used to be known for quality gaming. Let's compare it to Escape from Duck-Off. 108,000 in-game. 240,000 24-hour peak. Once again, let's look at Avowed. 152 people in game, 340 24-hour peak. For funsies, let's go ahead and check out Skyrim. Here we go. 14,000 in game, 32,000 24-hour peak. Look at Fallout New Vegas. 3,000 in game, 7,000 24-hour peak. It is important to know most people play with mods installed, me included, and it's not accurately being represented from Steam. Check out Fallout 4. 10,000 in the game, 23,000 24-hour peak. Make that make sense. And I am happy to see this, that people are finally recognizing that Obsidian Games isn't Obsidian Games anymore. People that made it great aren't there. The writers who made sure that the lore was accurate, that when you found a terminal and you actually took the time to read the terminal, that you walked away with, amazement or intrigue. Or when you walked into a building and you saw carefully placed items, you could see the storytelling without even needing a text to explain what happened. These companies have completely lost their soul. They've lost a plot. Every game feels like it's the exact same. The dialogue for these games feel as though it's written with the HR department, sitting right behind the guy creating the flavor text, and if you do anything that might offend somebody, you're fired. But thankfully we do have games like Duck-Off, games like Arc Raiders, or games like Baldur's Gate 3. 30,000 in game, 80,000 24 peak. Gaming isn't dying, but it really is having a culling right now. EA, Activision, Obsidian, these companies are going to be gone in the next few years. And they're going to be replaced by companies that genuinely care for their players. You know, I think the gaming industry will have a bright future, but right now, we're just going to be waiting for that to happen. But with that being said, y'all, I hope you're having a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye now.